Abiola Oluwo said this during a meeting with the Lagos State Dredgers and Miners Association in Alausa, Ikeja. According to a statement signed by the Deputy Director of Public Affairs Unit of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Adetola Idowu, Olowo reiterated the state's commitment to safe and sustainable mineral resources management. Former President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Nigeria after testifying in a case filed against the country by Sunrise Power at the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris, France. Buhari's return was disclosed with a video shared on X by former Special Assistant to the President on Digital Communications, Bashir Ahmed. Buhari was spotted stepping off an aircraft as he returned from Paris. On security matters, the Nigerian Air Force says its air component of Operation Fansanyama has killed scores of bandits and dismantled their logistics base at Alawa Forest in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. This is contained in a statement by the Director of NAF Public Relations, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimboyewa. According to the statement, the airstrike was a significant achievement in its counter-terrorism campaign, adding that the operation was based on credible intelligence and follow-up confirmatory aerial surveillance efforts, which indicated an influx of armed terrorists into the forest. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Abuja has prescribed the Lakurawa sect and declared it as a terrorist organization. The court also designated other similar groups in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and north-central zones of the country, as terrorist organizations. Justice James Omotosho, in a ruling on the ex-party originating summons filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, declared that an order is hereby made declaring the activities of the Lakurawa sect and other similar groups in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and north-central regions of Nigeria, as acts of terrorism and illegality. On aviation matters now, the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubunmi Kuku, has threatened that when she is tired of her role as the boss of the agency, she will throw in the towel. Kuku said this while fielding aviation industry-based questions, stating that she had stepped on toes and would step on more people's toes, although with caution. She also responded to criticisms that have greeted her claim that 580 billion naira is required to fix obsolete runways across the country, appealing to all who care to understand the need for the money to find out what it takes to take care of aviation infrastructures. And the Nigerian Police and National Human Rights Commission were engaged in a heated debate over the legality of jailing minors arrested at protest grounds for felony and treasonable offences. The debate took place at the public presentation of a research report titled Beyond the Protest, an explanatory study of the #End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria, organized by Kimpact Development Initiative in Abuja. In August last year, Nigeria witnessed widespread demonstrations under the #End Bad Governance movement, driven by public dissatisfaction to protest the economic hardship and governance issues ravaging the country. The Lagos State Technical and Vocational Education Board has reiterated its commitment to providing gender-inclusive technical education to Lagosians. Speaking at the annual management retreat with the theme Technical and Vocational Training, Key to Sustainable Development, the Executive Secretary of the Board, Morenike Aziz, noted that it has advanced significantly from a time when technical colleges were dismissed as mere dump sites for failure. Hence, she urged participants to remain focused and dedicated to achieving the agency's goal. The state government also expressed its resolve to establishing itself as a national leader in providing excellent and equitable technical and vocational training in Nigeria. The Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has called off its 3 days running strike after the intervention of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike. The president of the association, Dr. George Ebong, in a statement by the Federal Capital Territory Administration on the Wike has met most of their demands. It was reported that the doctors had embarked on a 3-day warning strike to press home their demands. However, in an update, EBONG revealed that its members have started receiving a lot of the 6-month salary arrears. Notorious terrorist leader Bello Turji has expressed his willingness to surrender. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, disclosed this on a program. Musa revealed that recent military operations targeting Turji's network have significantly weakened his position. He stated that the operations led to the elimination of Turji's second-in-command and several top lieutenants, forcing him to release many hostages and consider laying down arms. You're watching live broadcast of News Express on Global Television. When the news returns, $10 billion saved from subsidy removal in 2023. Details of that report, as well as foreign and sports stories, right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back to News Express and Global Television, and now on business news. Big tech company Meta has announced plans to invest up to $65 billion to strengthen its artificial intelligence infrastructure and accelerate innovation. This massive investment is part of the company's strategy to lead AI advancement, enhance its core offerings, and expand infrastructure to support groundbreaking development in the field. In a Facebook post, Meta's Chief Executive Officer, Mark Zuckerberg, outlined the company's next steps towards achieving these ambitious goals. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, says removing fuel subsidy had positively impacted the economy, with the federal government saving as much as $10 billion in 2023. Kalu, a member of the All Progressives Congress, added that the policy led to a 22% increase in dollar remittances from the diaspora, totaling $28 billion in 2024. Kalu disclosed this during a meeting with some investors and a group of scholars at Oxford University in London on the sidelines of his ongoing United Kingdom-Nigeria Parliamentary Strategic Dialogue walking visit to the United Kingdom. The mandatory remittance of electricity distribution companies to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading and Market Operator dropped by 156 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2024. Data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission have revealed, and according to the NERC, the financial remittance represents the cumulative upstream invoices payable by the DISCOs to NBET and MO for transmission and administrative services provided during the period under review. NERC disclosed that in the first quarter of 2024, the upstream invoice payable by DISCOs stood at 114.12 billion naira. However, the power firms collectively remitted 110.62 billion naira, of which 65.52 billion naira went to NBET and 45.10 billion naira to MO, leaving an outstanding balance of 3.50 billion naira. Bauchi State Government has approved and rectified a memorandum for the establishment of Bauchi Mengsheng Company as a move to explore more opportunities, create jobs, and improve the internally generated revenue of the state. This was disclosed by the Commissioner, Ministry for Natural Resources Development, Mewada Bello, in a press briefing with journalists after the State Executive Council meeting. Bello stated that the initiative was born out of the state government's passion for opening Bauchi for investment and as a business hub. No fewer than 67 communities in Ogun State have been thrown into darkness following ongoing maintenance work at a station of the Transmission Company of Nigeria in Ota, Adodo, Ota local government area of the state. It was reported that residents of Abeokuta, the state capital, and other parts of the state have complained of total blackouts in the past few days. Before the power supply went off recently, the people said power to the state had dropped drastically, leaving them to seek alternative sources, even as the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company billed unmetered customers. Now on the foreign scene, Hamas is set to release 4 Israeli women soldiers held hostage since its October 7th, 2023 attack on Saturday under a truce deal in the Gaza war that is also expected to see a second group of Palestinian prisoners freed. Israel confirmed that it had received a list of names of hostages who are due to return home, though neither side has specified how many Palestinians will be released from Israeli detention if everything goes to plan. According to the Israeli Hostage and Missing Families Forum, the women due for release are Karina Arif, Daniela Gilbao, Naama Levy, and Liri Albag. The United States, the world's biggest donor, froze virtually all foreign aid, making exceptions only for emergency food and military funding for Israel and Egypt. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent an internal memo days after President Donald Trump took office, vowing an American-first policy of tightly restricting assistance overseas. The sweeping order appears to affect everything from development assistance to military aid, including to Ukraine, which received billions of dollars in weapons under Trump's predecessor Joe Biden as it tries to repel a Russian invasion. The U.S. Senate narrowly confirmed former Fox News co-host Pete Hegseth as Pentagon chief, despite allegations of alcohol abuse, sexual misconduct, and other fears about his ability to lead the world's most powerful military. 3 Republican senators voted against Donald Trump's pick as Secretary of Defense, resulting in a 50-50 tie that required J.D. Vance to cast the deciding ballot. Only the second time in history a vice president has had to intervene to save a cabinet nominee. The razor-edged result underscored concerns about Hegseth, who will take over the Pentagon with the war raging in Ukraine, the Middle East volatile despite ceasefires in Lebanon and Gaza, and as Trump expands the military's role in security on the U.S.-Mexico border. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees must end operations and leave all its premises in Jerusalem by January 30th. Israel's UN ambassador says, affirming timelines set out in controversial Israeli legislation. Defying international concerns, Israeli lawmakers have passed legislation that bars the agency UNRWA from operating in Israel and East Jerusalem, the sector of the city annexed by Israel following the 1967 Six-Day War. The agency has faced criticism from Israel that has escalated since the start of the war, including claims that a dozen of its 13,000 Gaza employees were involved in the deadly October 7, 2023 assault by Hamas. And now to the world of sports. Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has found himself embroiled in controversy following an alleged altercation with a journalist in Istanbul, Turkey. According to Turkish media outlet Posta, the incident occurred as Osimhen, on loan from Napoli, was leaving a nightclub with his friends. The said journalist, Olga Bozduman, recounted the encounter, claiming that Osimhen reacted aggressively to being photographed. He further stated that the striker attempted to bribe him to delete the footage. Chelsea are poised to table a bid for Alejandro Garnacho after Napoli's offer for the Manchester United winger was rejected. Per Fabrizio Romano, Napoli have seen an offer worth 50 million euros for Garnacho rejected, and Chelsea are now ready in their own offer. The Argentine winger is nearing an exit from United, and his agents were spotted at Stamford Bridge during the Blues' clash with Wolves. It now appears they will firm up their interest. And now to end News Express, a recap of our top stories. The impeached Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has faulted his removal by lawmakers. And in business news, you heard that a mandatory remittance of electricity distribution companies to Nigerian bulk electricity trading and the market operator dropped by 156 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2024. Data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission have revealed. On the foreign scene, we told you that the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees must end operations and leave all its premises in Jerusalem by January 30th. Israeli UN ambassador says, affirming timelines set out in controversial Israeli legislation. And in sports, you heard that Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has found himself embroiled in controversy following an alleged altercation with a journalist in Istanbul, Turkey. That's it on Global Television's News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276, as well as free-to-air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using our Global TVNG. I am Amina Jibril. Thank you for watching and have a good evening.